Balloon Beats.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Talk Live. We're live again, 9 o'clock every night. It's Unhinged time. I'm Patrick Hennessy. This is Pataski Vizina Fontos. How are we doing tonight, Barrow?
I'm fantastic, man.
Fantastic.
How about you? I'm fantastic, like the legend, the myth, Brian DeGennaro.
The man, the myth, the legend. Shout out to everyone in the chat, though, for stopping by. It's 9 o'clock, Unhinged time. Let's do a little attendance / roll call, as usual. Shout out Leanna, Aiden, Lori, Squisher King, Daniel, John Owen, Squisher. Oh, wait, or he said Squisher King. We got Benji. We got Swainer, KG Baseball, Kevin, Anthony, LA Yankee King, Chibuzi. How we doing, everybody? We got some fun stuff to talk about tonight. Very fun stuff. I guess we'll start it off with the idea that Giancarlo Stanton wants to go back to the outfield. I say this all the time. Like, we just did a podcast on this. It'll be out tomorrow at 12, but we'll touch on it tonight.
Hey, what is wrong with you? Why the sassiness? Be proud of your work.
No sassiness.
Be proud of your work. They're excited to see our content tomorrow.
But I'm going to be honest. It's kind of a good thing to see Giancarlo Stanton wants some outfield time. It kind of proves that he thinks that he's fully healthy. He knows he's not going to risk any sort of health by playing the outfield. And Boone, like, obviously he's not totally opposed to it because he doesn't want Stanton to be full-time DH at the age of 31. Okay. So what do you think? Do you think Stanton could actually play the outfield at all this year?
Well, 100%. If he's actually healthy and you're paying the guy over $25 million, might as well. He has the capability, and there's something we touched about on our podcast. You could rotate Judge and Stanton numerous times throughout the season so that both ways you limit the amount of times they get hurt. So I can see MVP seasons from these two guys if they're actually healthy. Yeah,
I mean, definitely. Another thing we got out of camp today, Mike Tauchman hit a home run off Garrett Cole. Now, I would kind of say, normally I would be like, okay, this means nothing. But with Mike Tauchman, like, this might actually mean something. Like, he's coming into camp fully healthy, right? And last year, like, there was kind of rumors that he was playing with an injury. But I mean, I think what this all comes down to is what pitch he hit off Garrett Cole, right? Because we know Tauchman doesn't really have trouble with off-speed stuff. But if he turned around a Garrett Cole fastball and launched it, because, bro, we saw him late on like 90-mile-an-hour fastballs last year. So if he was able to turn around a Garrett Cole fastball, we might be looking at a solid Mike Tauchman this year, like 2019 Tauchman.
2019 Mike Tauchman was a beast.
No, he was a dog. Like, genuinely, like, he was a tank.
Yeah.
I think it was it in the summer when I felt like the dude just hit a home run like every day? It's like we had no expectations for Mike Tauchman. Same thing with like Gio Urshela, like Mike Ford, 2019. But like they just blew everyone's expectations.
Man, that was the whole next man up mentality. It was like all these guys you never heard of: Mike Ford, Mike Tauchman, Gio Urshela. And then Gio Urshela had one of let's say it wasn't MVP, but he had one of the best game seasons of his career. So
Yeah, no, yeah, easily. And like Anthony said, Cole probably hasn't tried to throw above 95 miles per hour yet, nor should he. Regardless, though, I mean, even if Cole was throwing like 90, 93, 94, like the fact that Talkman was able to turn that around, like that still shows some sort of what's that called? Potential? It's not
yeah,
potential, but it's like down that alley. It's like a positive sign for things to come this season for Mike Talkman. Yeah, July 2019, Talkman was a monster, like genuine monster. And Laurie's comment does kind of make sense. There's no room on the bench for Talkman. However, okay, so let's break down the bench. Higgy, Wade, Gardner. 3 spots, I'm assuming, already done, right? So then we got 1 bench spot left, assuming they're going to go 13 pitchers, 13 position players. And then for that final spot, you have Talkman, Bruce, Dietrich, Andewhorn, all competing for that final spot. So like it's definitely possible that Talkman makes the roster on the bench. I could see it happening.
What about Chirinos? Do you think he's going to make it over Higgy?
They're not going to carry over Higgy. No, I don't think so.
Because if you really think about it, I know Higgy was Cole's main catcher, but wasn't Chirinos one of Cole's main catchers in Houston too?
He was, but he wasn't Cole's personal catcher. Maldonado was Cole's personal catcher. So I think if it was Maldonado, like we might have a different situation. The only way I could see Chirinos making the roster over Higashioka is one of 2 things. Cole works with Gary all spring training and becomes comfortable enough with Gary where he feels like he could pitch to him every game. And the Yankees posted a picture on their Twitter today of actually Cole and Gary. So I think that was kind of interesting that they were working together. And the second thing that would involve Chirinos making the roster over Higgy is that this spring he kind of proves that he could be a veteran mentor for Gary Sanchez. I know a lot of people talked about this when the Yankees first signed Chirinos. I believe Chirinos is like a native Spanish speaker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that could also be a huge help for Gary to have like a veteran, good defensive catcher who speaks the same language as Gary, helping him behind the scenes, maybe helping giving him some tips and whatnot. That's kind of what I thought Yadier Molina could have been for the Yankees. Obviously, they got Chirinos. Yeah, Robinson Chirinos for a lot less money. So that's like, it's not such a far-fetched idea to say Chirinos can make the roster over Higgy. But if I would put it on a scale of like 1 to 10, with 10 being like it's definitely going to happen, probably give it like a 4.
Yeah, I agree.
Because right now I still think Higgy's that guy, especially because he's like Cole's personal catcher still until proven otherwise. I don't know. Let's see. What other comments we got? Were there any other topics that kind of went down today that we could touch on? I know Brett Gardner had an interview, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I from what I could gather from Gardner's interview, basically what he said is he's expecting to play like, I think he said he wants to play 162 games, but he's like, I know that's not realistic, but like knowing like how with injuries and stuff that role could change at any point. I guess it's a good thing that Gardner like realizes that he kind of signed on to be a bench bat, but it's also like a little bit concerning that he wants to play 162 games because like that's not what your role is. Like think about playing 162 games when an injury actually does happen, right? Don't assume that injuries are going to happen and expect yourself to be playing every game this season. So I don't know. I don't have anything against Gardner. I just wish like the organization would realize that his purpose on this team should solely just be like a veteran leader, a veteran presence in the clubhouse. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have to play 162 games, and I don't know why he wants to.
I feel like,
am I wrong?
Didn't he joke about hitting 80 home runs in a season?
He probably did. I mean, I didn't really pay that much attention.
There's another topic that's going around that Sweeney Murdy brought up. The Yankees actually have $5.8 million in cap space left. So it brings you to the attention of, do you sign David Robertson to a short-term deal, like a 2-year, $5 million deal? If he takes it, but he's not going to take it. Or do you set up a trade for the deadline to go after Kyle Hendricks or Luis Castillo? Because Castillo's making $4.2 million this year, and he has 2 more years of arbitration. So if you do trade for him, it'll be a win-win for both teams.
You know, I saw a lot of people in the chat asking about D-Rob too. Before Justin Wilson, I would say maybe. But now, like, looking at the bullpen, there's just no need for David Robertson. Like, genuinely, if we didn't sign Darren O'Day and Justin Wilson, maybe D-Rob would make sense. Also, the fact that D-Rob hasn't signed yet kind of leads me to believe that he might be looking for a little bit more money than when we originally thought. Because I think that if he was looking for like 1 year, 1 million, like I think he kind of deserves, he would have signed a while ago. But he might be looking in like the 5 million range, no joke. Especially after the showcase, like his value might have went up a little bit, especially in his own head, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Let's pull one of the questions from the chat here. I love these trade scenarios. So Blake says, would you trade Stanton, Andewhorn, and Hicks for Mike Trout? Yes. Okay, Blake, like I'm just going to say it right now. There's probably not one trade you could offer for Mike Trout that I wouldn't accept. Unless it involves Cole. I think Cole is the only guy I wouldn't trade for Mike Trout. Genuinely.
Agreed. What about Judge?
I'd trade him for Mike Trout. No joke. DJ, gone. Stanton, gone. Glaber, gone. Luis Cessa, gone. Gardy? Bro, Gardy's already gone. Like, I don't even have to think about that. Let's see. I wonder who's starting for us on Sunday. It is Michael King. Yes, that's another thing. The Yankees announced Michael King is starting on Sunday. A little bit disappointing, to be honest. I mean, I wasn't really expecting Cole or Tyone or Kluber to start, but yeah, it's whatever. Did I see Chirinos' an interview? I did not. But from what I saw on Twitter, just like little like tidbits, it seems like he's really excited to be a Yankee. And did you see the picture that he posted on his own Instagram? He was like standing in front of a picture of Jeter, and he put like #respect.
Because the only reason why I feel like he's doing that, because I don't remember that interview he had with the media. He was basically saying the Yankees fans were gone before the end of the game. And he's like, those aren't real fans. And meanwhile, Houston Astros fans did the exact same thing in the playoffs when they were down big. So,
yeah, it is what it is. Matt Finch, solid comment. Matt Finch always has solid comments.
Very true.
Knowing that 2 of the 3 are still hopefully have a lot of time left to develop, improve themselves, rank the level of pleasant surprise trade acquisitions, Urshela, Gregorius, Voit. This is a really good scenario because it's tough. If I had to rank them on the level of like whether Urshela and Voit can still develop and prove themselves, I think I would put Urshela 3. Voit 2, Didi 1. I would say Didi would have to be the best of the pleasant surprise, only because a few things. One, he was replacing Derek Jeter, so he had the highest amount of pressure on him compared to the other 2. Also, I mean, what he did for the Yankees not only in the regular season, but the postseason. I mean, without Didi in the 2017 postseason, they probably don't even get out of the wild card game. So I think it's very important to recognize Didi's time in the Bronx.
And don't forget that game against Cleveland. He had 2 home runs.
Yes, against Kluber. So, I mean, they probably don't make it out of the wild card game. He kind of disappeared in the ALCS, but after what he did in the wild card game and the ALDS, well-deserved. Like, take a break in the ALCS, bro. Would you agree with my ranking, though? 3 Urshela, 2 Voit, 1 Didi?
Is it bad that I would switch Voit with Urshela?
Really?
Because Voit, he looked like a guy, he looked like a tank. So he looked like he was a guy who was going to be a power hitter for the organization. But Gio Urshela was a guy who got traded for $500,000 and came up and took over this third baseman role after Andewhorn got hurt. And look at the performance. Not only is he great with the bat, but his defense is one of the best in the game. So
it's beautiful. Yeah. I mean, I would say Voit and Urshela are kind of like on the same page. Voit might have had like a better regular season, but I mean, Urshela's grand slam against the Indians, like they both have their moments, you know. I want to bring up this comment here. Aiden says, I just now noticed that Yankees have the best chance out of any team to make the World Series. I would have to agree, only because while I think like the Dodgers might be a better team, I think they're going to have a much tougher path to get to the World Series. The National League is deep. They're going to have to face teams like the Padres, the Mets, the Braves. Meanwhile, like the Yankees' biggest competition in the American League to make the World Series is going to be like the White Sox. So yeah, I think it's fair to say the Yankees have the best chance to make the World Series.
Do you think the Twins have a chance of making it?
Just because they're the Twins. No. Like also because they don't. It's not like they're significantly better than they were last year. They lost Trevor May. They got Jay Happ. It's like they didn't really make significant upgrades. They lost Eddie Rosario. So I don't know. I'm just
Where did
never high on
Rosario-
the Twins.
Where did he sign?
It's a really good question, Para. I think he signed with somebody.
Really? I never knew.
He signed with the Indians. That's right. Yeah, he
Ah.
signed with the Indians. Let's see. Yes, Hicks did say he can hit 30 home runs in a healthy season. I think I would agree with Aaron Hicks here.
Hicks has a beautiful swing. So when he hits the ball to right field, it's always the best.
Let's say he plays 130 games. Do you think he hits 30 home runs?
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I think he will bat 285 with 300 home runs. With 30 home runs. What am I saying 300 for? But see, that's always the problem with Hicks. They gave him a 7-year, $70 million deal. But before he even got acquired by the Yankees for John Ryan Murphy, he always had his injuries. He always had back problems. He always had something with his legs. But I would love to see Aaron Hicks play over 125 games in a regular season.
Yeah, I mean, also, what we have to remember is Hicks was coming off injury last season. His arm strength just wasn't there. We kind of saw flashes of his arm strength coming back. I think one of the throws in the postseason where he kind of gave it his all, and we saw like flashes of old Aaron Hicks. So I think like I have high expectations for Hicks this year. But however, out of let's say the trio of Judge, Stanton, Hicks, I think I have Hicks being the first one to get hurt. I don't know why. I just feel it in my chest. In my chest, Power, I feel it.
And if it's gonna be like a injury, I feel like it's gonna be him sliding into the base and then something happens.
It's gonna be something stupid. But Pistol Pete said Gardy said if he was as big as Judge, he'd hit 80 home runs. So I think that's like the 80 home run comment that you were referring to.
Gotcha.
Let's see. Got a lot of solid comments.
Here's
Anthony
a question
says,
about
yeah, go for it.
Where would you put Hicks in the lineup just on opening day? Would you put him at 3? Would you put him at like 6?
It's a hard hitting question. I mean, I would go 1 DJ, 2 Judge, 3 I'd probably go Hicks,
Right.
and then 4 I think I'd go Stanton, just so like you could break up Judge and Stanton. I think it would make the most sense.
Yeah.
Would you do the same?
Yeah, that's why he's always when Hicks is on fire, he's always prime at number 3. So
yeah, I'd put him at 3. Anthony says offer D-Rob 1 year, $3 million. If he doesn't accept, screw him. We don't need him. Then save the money to acquire Hendricks at the deadline. 2021 World Series champs. I would say offer him 1 year, $2 million. I wouldn't want to give him more than Justin Wilson got. Like, you know what I mean? Like D-Rob hasn't pitched in 2 years. There's just no need.
The funniest thing is he was his own agent. That's how he got the 2 years, $24 million. So he pitched like 5 games and then got time now.
Something like that. Oh yeah. I traded the entire team for Mike Trout easily. I mean, who wouldn't? Like, if we're being honest, is there any position player you would not give up for Mike Trout?
No.
I'd give up any prospect for Mike Trout. Jason Dominguez, like, I understand they're comparing you to Mike Trout, but I'd rather have Mike Trout than you. Like, it's just as simple as that, and that's not knocking any other player on the Yankees. It's just like saying Mike Trout is like a generational talent. I'd give up anybody on the team besides Garrett Cole for him.
I mean, picture that outfield. Judge, Stanton. I mean, Judge, Trout, and Frazier.
Daniel, to answer your question, I'm going to say yes. I would easily give up Devi, Dominguez, and Judge for Trout. Is that a hot take?
That is a hot take. Because
it might be a hot take.
Some Yankees fans wouldn't give up Judge for Trout. And I have a feeling I know one person. His name is Dan Rourke.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Whatever. I'd still do it. Don't mind Parrot just wiping off his camera.
my image looked a little foggy there.
Let's see. Pat, do you think we need more starting pitching? I think we need some more starting pitching. Not right now. I think they could reassess the situation at the deadline because going into the season, everyone's healthy. So right now we have like 6 solid starters who are healthy and capable of giving us some innings. That might change come the trade deadline. And then in that case, you make a trade for a guy like Kyle Hendricks or Luis Castillo or one of those type arms that can fill a hole that the Yankees might have at that point.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Urshela had no expectations that he became the starting third baseman. Urshela only had an opportunity because Andewhorn was hurt, right?
That's when he slid into third base and tore his labrum.
Yeah, Andewhorn went out, and then the Yankees kind of had no expectations for Gio Urshela, especially considering he showed no bat in Cleveland, no bat in Toronto. I'm still genuinely shocked that Gio Urshela has turned into the talent that he has.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like every year that has gone by, he's kind of gotten better. No joke. So, yeah, shout out Gio Urshela for everything he's done. Twins getting J-Hap automatically makes them worse. Easily. Could you imagine going into like an ALDS, ALCS against the Twins and like getting to face J-Hap? I'd be licking my lips. Like, I wouldn't even be nervous.
I'm still pissed at the fact that Devi Garcia pitched only a half inning in the playoffs because J-Hap decided he wanted to complain and say, you know what, I want to pitch. And then what did he do? He gave up 6 runs.
All right, but hear me out. Going into a series against the Twins, there's a very high potential you'd be going up against in back-to-back games, Pineda and Hap.
Well, you got a cheater and you got a guy who's past his prime.
Did Hap ever have a prime?
He was solid with the Phillies. I'll give him that.
But still, like a prime.
Not like I wouldn't consider it a prime. I would be like, he was solid with the Phillies, but after that,
yeah. For those of you who saying Gardy is good in the field, he is a terrible fielder according to Baseball Savant. Go check it out. Same goes for Aaron Hicks. Oh, okay. Swainer's taking shots, but yeah, I mean, I don't think Brett he also has no arm. Like Brett Gardner has never had an arm. I think Clint Frazier is probably a better defender now than Brett Gardner is.
Oh, Clint's improved so much in the last couple of years because that's the only thing they didn't put him in the lineup because of his defense, especially that game against Boston where he struggled so much and they sent him down. But when he went back to the minors, that's the only thing he would work on. He can swing the bat, but his defense was the only concern. It's
going to be interesting to see Clint have a full season in left though, because last year when we saw him like being a Gold Glove defender, he was in right field. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how that translates to left, but I think he could do it. I don't think it'll be a huge change for him. Benji asks, is Gardy the starting the home opener over Hicks? Not
Benji, read my lips. Hell no.
Slapping them gums. But yeah. Nah, there's no chance, bro. No chance. Also, chat. I don't know if you guys could see, but I have this fidget cube. I bought it from Amazon for like $5. I love like playing with it while I record and shit. Like, it's awesome. I love it. Big fan. If anybody wants like a fidget cube, go head over to Amazon. I should make unhinged fidget cubes.
Why not? And you should just have everybody's face on it.
That would be so. One side has like Brandon, one side has Brian. Then the whole thing is just me.
Just let Brian be the buttons, because if somebody's waving the bandanas, you just press the buttons.
I'm so doing it. Matt Finch says you can make a pretty strong claim that other than Trout, Hicks is the best center fielder in the AL when he's on the field. His on-base rates and defensive prowess, I think it's prowess, are both outstanding. Yeah, I mean, we had this conversation. When was it? What was that season where Hicks was awesome? Was it 2018? And he was healthy for the most part? Because I remember having this conversation where, like, outside of Mike Trout, like, Aaron Hicks is the best center fielder in the American League.
Didn't Hicks throw somebody out at home with a 98-mile-per-hour ball from center field?
Yeah, I think it was against the A's. That was like 2016, 2017, maybe. But yes, so it was 2018 when Hicks played 137 games, 27 home runs, had a 366 on base. So it was 2018 when I remember we had this discussion that Aaron Hicks is the best center fielder in the AL outside of Mike Trout. And I think if he's healthy again this year, that's a very fair statement to say once again. Matthew says, what do you think our rotation looks like in 3 years? Tyone Medina. Matthew, I wish I could make a projection for you, but I don't know what I'm having for breakfast tomorrow morning, let alone what the Yankees rotation is going to be like in 3 years, because like like in all seriousness though, like 3 years ago, if I told you the Yankees rotation in 2020, 3 years from then, would consist of Garrett Cole, Corey Kluber, and Jameson Taillon, you would probably look at me like I had 5 heads.
Very
So like,
true.
who knows where we'll be 3 years from now? Excited for the Twitch stream. Hashtag Unhinged KC. About that, I bought a capture card. So basically, like now I could play MLB The Show on the Twitch stream. Twitch.tv/Unhinged New York will be live after the stream. But I am gonna play like my Royals franchise because like Unhinged KC. I'm doing my Royals franchise on stream tonight. It's gonna be a quality ass time.
Nicky Lopez.
Oh, and I think I traded Nicky Lopez, to be honest. It's kind of sad. But like you gotta like know when to move on, and it was time to move on with Nicky Lopez. Also because I'm pretty sure Fernando Tatis Jr. is our shortstop.
How did you make that happen?
I have no idea. But MLB trade logic, Let's see. Where was I in the comments? Oh, here. If you trade Judge for Trout, who would play right field? Like, that's a situation like where you solve it once you get there. Like, that's like an embarrassment of riches. Okay, Para.
I already know who you're going to play in right field.
Clint,
without a doubt.
Yeah, but then who do you put in left?
Stanton.
The entire season.
But you're going to have your depth. You're going to have Jason Dominguez in the end.
Moving on. What version of Kluber do you think we will see this season? To be honest, I have very high expectations for Corey Kluber going in 2021. Like, as long as he stays healthy, obviously. I don't think it's going to be like prime Cy Young Kluber, but I think we're going to get like, I'll take like a 3.7 ERA out of Kluber, and I'll be very satisfied.
Here's my hot take. Kluber's going to go 13-6 with a 3.8 ERA.
A little bit higher than I expected, but I wouldn't say that's a hot take. I thought you were going to say like he wins Cy Young or something, because that would be a hot take.
No, he's not going to win Cy Young. But actually, him working with Matt Blake during the offseason, now officially working with him, it's going to be great for him.
CJ says, "What's up, Patty? What is up, Parish Vets?" I think I'm gonna call you Parish Vets from now on.
Why not?
Yo, CJ, homework always comes first, but you're right. Yeah, can't miss 2 streams in a row ever. If you miss 2 streams in a row and then you come back, it's like, what did I miss? Because then you just miss so much. Like last night, we talked about what did we talk about last night? Just life, Unhinged KC. I mean, whenever I'm on with Sean, I just feel like the conversation always starts like it ends up with the Royals every single time. I'm scared that Clint is going to bat 400 in May and then 167 in June. He's really streaky like that. My only fear is that if he does that and then they bring in Gardner to start, that's my main fear.
I mean, that's just baseball in general. There's always times you're going to have a hot month and a crappy month.
But they can't give up on him just when he has a rough month. You know what I mean?
I mean, Judge has his rough months. Look at Sanchez. He had a rough month, but he was taken out 3 months after the fact that he was terrible. So honestly, they have the belief in Clint that he can be their starting left fielder 140 times out of the 162 games. But you just, like you said, you can't give up on him and put a guy who's past his prime.
Yeah. Benji's comment: did you see Frazier's bat he designed his own? Quality stuff. Like, Chad, if you guys didn't see it, I'm pretty sure Clint posted it on his Twitter. I think the Yankees posted it on their Twitter too. It's literally like, obviously he can't use it in the games, but he'll use it in batting practice. It's literally a bat with his face, with a mask, like solid stuff. Beautiful stuff. Like, Clint is just an animal. Like, between his cleat game, his back game, I love everything about Clint Frazier. Like, no joke. And honestly, like, this might be a hot take. Give it like 2-3 years, I think Austin Wells is going to have like a Clint Frazier type presence in the Bronx.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
Just saying. What are the good comments we got? Chat, give me some quality comments.
I think I saw one comment before. I don't know if you passed by.
About what?
Andrew Wallace. He called Mike Trout overrated.
Did he? Where? Oh, here we go. Mike Trout is overrated. I'm not just trying to take shots here, but Soto, Betts, and DJ are all better than him. I mean, he hasn't even batted above 300 or hit over 40 home runs in a very long time. Let's not discredit Mike Trout. Mike Trout is still, in my opinion, the best player in the game. I think last year, like, it was a little bit of a down year for him. Like, okay, like a down year for Mike Trout. Like, it's still like very good. So obviously, like Soto, Betts, DJ, they're all very good players. But give it this year, and like let's see what happens with Trout. Because I still think we could agree, like, he's the best player in the game. Like, all around, best player in the game. I'd still trade anybody for him. I don't care. But he's definitely not overrated, like, at all.
No, not at all. He's just been hurt. That's the only reason why you haven't seen him put up those numbers.
Yeah. Let's see. Squisher King says last night's 643 DP stream was mad fun. Yeah, Squisher King, listen. For those of you who missed it, me and Derek did do a live stream on his channel last night from like 7 to 8. We're going to be doing that every Wednesday night now. So stay tuned for those on Derek's channel. So Wednesday nights, today's Thursday, right? Yeah, so Wednesday nights from like 7 to 8, I'll be live on his channel, and then I'll be live on my channel right after. So stay tuned for that. Will Austin Wells replace Gary Sanchez at catcher?
In the near future, but it all depends on what they do with Gary.
I think it all depends on whether or not they view Austin Wells as a catcher. You don't think so?
I mean, how many players have the Yankees had in their organization throughout the last 30 years where they had a cat? They were originally a catcher, but they pushed them to another position.
Jesus Montero.
Even the only time they pushed a player to a catcher was Posada was second base, and when he signed with the Yankees, officially became a catcher.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the reverse effect because they would be moving Austin Wells from catcher to another position. But I know a lot of people aren't really high on his defense, but I do think Austin Wells can provide something with the bat, and that'll give him like a fast track to the majors, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to what Lori said. I like that shirt, Pat. Thank you, Lori. Thank you. If anybody would like to purchase it, unhingedclothing.shop. Purchase all your t-shirt needs. Most of the t-shirts are only $10, so unhingedclothing.shop if anybody wants to buy an unhinged shirt. Let's see what else we got here. Quality comment from CJ. I think Mike Trout is a little overrated. Don't get me wrong. I would trade anyone for him, and I think he's the best player in the MLB. But when people say of all time, I think that's whatever those emojis are trying to say. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say he's the best of all time yet. By the time like things are all said and done, like Mike Trout can be in the conversation of being like one of the best players of all time. But not right now.
In the 2010 generation, he's the best player.
Yeah, I mean, easily. But it's like, I think even if he retired today, like he would be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like that's how good his career has been to this point. So it's like, how old is Mike Trout?
I think he's like 30. I think he's 30, 31 years old.
29. So
right,
let's say he has 10 years left. Like Mike Trout can go down as one of the all-time greats. I don't think it's that far-fetched.
I think he has to get traded from the Angels. That's the only way.
I mean, I'm kind of disappointed he signed that contract in the first place, to be honest.
I mean, I feel like he only did it because they offered him a blank check. When somebody offers you a blank check, you're going to automatically take it.
I guess. I mean, look at Tatis. Swainer says rotation in August. Cole, Castillo, Kluber, Tyone, and Garcia. Sevy and Herman in the pen, and Monty gets traded for Castillo, along with Schmidt, Medina, Volpe, Estrada, and Abreu. Huh.
Wow.
I mean, that's a package that I would do. You're giving up a lot for Castillo, but I mean, a rotation with Cole, Castillo, Kluber, Tyone, and Garcia. That's beautiful. That's hot.
And we better be getting Nick Castellanos if we're gonna get that trade.
I don't think you are because I mean, the Yankees wouldn't be able to take on that money. I just don't see it.
I only said it because I know how much you love Nick Castellanos.
Oh, I love Nick Castellanos. Love him with all my heart. When are you going to get the whole gang on the stream that wants to do trivia / anything? Now, I mentioned this idea to Sean last night. I don't think I mentioned it to you. I think what we're gonna do is like the day before opening day. I think we should do like the live stream the night before and bring the whole team on to make our predictions for the upcoming season. I think that would be solid. It might be a little bit of like overwhelming, not a little bit of overwhelming, grammar, but I think it would be quality. So it would be me, you, Brian, Brandon, Sean. That's 6 people. That's
Sean and Jalen. Don't forget Jalen.
Jalen, yes. Oh my. Jalen's gonna kill me.
He's gonna pull up in the comments in like
It's so sad.
5 minutes.
Matt Finch, hot take. This will be or should be the year the Yankees adapt to 6-man rotation to open the season and abandon the use of Green as an opener. I think they abandoned the use of Green as an opener like last year because I don't think Green was used as an opener at all last year.
Not at all. He was only good in 2019 when it was considered an opener.
Yeah, I think the 6-man rotation will work this year. Especially because, like we mentioned before, Tyone and Kluber are both coming off of injuries, so you're going to need them to like have some days off every once in a while, right? So I think Herman can play that role as a 6-man in the rotation. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Hey, Pat. What's up, Borg? Remember your name this time. Let's go. Rank the following players: Voit, DJ LeMahieu, Gio, Glaber.
Wow.
I'll go from bottom to top. I'll go Gio, Voit, Glaber, DJ.
I would do what I did before. Switch Gio with Voit.
But Glaber and DJ 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess Voit and Gio are kind of interchangeable, but I think I'd put Voit over Gio just because, like, I think his bat has more potential than Gio's.
Like, I love Voit, and I appreciate his bat, but I value Gio as more of a greater asset to the team than Voit is.
Yeah. Let's see. In the playoffs, who would you rather have, Stanton or Trout? I mean, if you asked me this before last year's postseason, I probably would have said Trout. But like now I have to go Stanton just because based off of what he did last year.
And Stanton, now that he went from a team that never made the playoffs to a team that made a playoffs in the last 3 to the 4 years he was there. How many times has Trout even made the playoffs with the Angels? Once. And I don't even think he did anything.
3 games. I think they got swept by the Royals.
Wow.
That was 2014. They got swept by the Royals. I don't know if like Trout even got a hit. He probably got like 12 at bats. So it's like you can't really judge him based off of that.
But see, that's the thing. That's the sad part. He's one of those. He's one of those prestige players that we would never see in the playoffs.
I don't know because I mean I kind of made this prediction yesterday. I think that the Angels are going to win the AL West.
That's think so?
It's a hot take for me, but I think the Angels are going to win the AL West this year. I really do.
Where would you rank the Astros? Between
Second.
3 and 5?
Second. I think a lot of people are still high on the A's. I'm not really that high on the A's. I think I'd have them third. I mean, but then again, like I think it's anybody's division to win there. I think they're all just so mediocre. It's kind of like the NL Central, where it's just like you could be really bad but still win the division. I mean, look at the Astros last year. Like they were under 500 and still made the playoffs. Obviously, it was different formatting, but still, I mean, it's possible.
I honestly don't see them doing well this season.
The Astros or the A's?
The Astros, their pitching's limited.
See, but that's what I thought until I looked at it. So they still have Greinke, they have Valdez, McCullers as their top 3, which isn't that bad. And then after that, they have Urquidy and Javier. So like their rotation isn't that bad. It's not as bad as the A's, but I don't know. Let's see. The fact that he's on the Angels is one of the biggest regrets MLB will ever have. Their best player has only made the playoffs once in his career. That's all on the Angels. I guess. I mean, I just kind of wish Trout didn't sign that extension, but like I get what you're saying about the blank check, but whatever.
But going to that comment, MLB does a terrible job of advertising Trout.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. I mean,
in every other sport, you have these teams, they want these superstars in the playoffs. They advertise it so well. And then you have MLB, the players advertise themselves.
I know. It's tough because like I did a project for school last semester, and it was like for like a advertising class or something. And I was like doing like something about MLB. Did you know that according to like Americans, Mike Trout is just as recognizable as Kenneth Faried in the NBA? I don't even think he's in the league anymore, but he's just as recognizable to Americans as Kenneth Faried, who's like the definition of a mediocre former basketball player, which is crazy to think about. The best baseball player of our generation is on the same level as Kenneth Faried. Come on, chat. Come on. But
That's
Smooth J has probably the best comment of the night. Hey Pat, I'm going to cop an Unhinged shirt. That's legendary.
go for
Anybody
it.
who cops an Unhinged shirt is just a legendary human being. So just saying. $10 at unhingedclothing.shop. Let's see. What do we got? Another quality comment. Trade Schmidt, Medina, Volpe, Clint, Andewhorn, and get this Chapman. Chapman for Castillo, Castellanos. Trading Chappie to get Castellanos' contract. What do you think about that now?
So those 6 players.
There's so many names in there for me to process.
I think he's saying trade Schmidt, Medina, Volpe, Clint, and Duhart, and roll this Chapman for Castellanos and Castillo. So that way you don't have to worry about Castellanos' contract.
I don't think I'm doing that.
I still have faith in Aroldis Chapman. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I do too. It's like I don't think that like. Also, I don't know if I want to swap out Clint for Castellanos. Like I don't think the change would be.
I think I would rather keep 24-year-old Clint Frazier and let him improve by the years.
Same, yeah. I mean, his defense is much better than Castellanos' too. I mean, like Castellanos is really bad on defense, so I don't know if I'm down with that. Let's see. Don't count out Oakland. Yeah, I'm not counting out Oakland. Like I said, I mean, it's possible that they still win the division, but I'm just trying to be out there this year. Like that's why I got the Angels. Like let's go Angels. I'm an Angels guy. Let's see. Do you think if Mike Trout demanded a trade, he would be traded? Because he may, if Angels keep losing and not in the playoffs, he may want to be traded. You think this is possible? I don't like Mike Trout doesn't strike me as the guy. Like I don't know him personally, but like he doesn't strike me as the guy like ever demanding a trade. So,
but that's the thing. They always say we always like picture them as the guys not to be traded. But I don't know. For some reason, Trout reminds me of J.J. Watt, who was recently like a devoted player to his team. He did a lot of charitable work. But this season, he demanded a trade, and they worked on a buyout. So they just remind me of each other.
They do have like a similar personality. If I'm not mistaken, like J.J. Watt's like very like
outgoing. Right? He's like, but this season he was to the point where he was like, I'm done. I want out.
Yeah. Speaking of the AL West, is there a bigger mess in all of baseball at the moment than the Mariners after the former president's comments? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we've touched on this on live, but like the Mariners, I mean, disaster. I mean, I know a lot of Yankees were asked about it, and like they're saying, like, look, like we're not surprised, like the manipulation of service time, like we know that this goes on, but like the fact that like he actually like said this, it was publicly he made these comments, right?
Yeah, I think he said it during like a interview or something on a Zoom call.
Like, how stupid could you be that you're like saying this stuff publicly?
I mean, honestly, there's a lot of stupid people out there. It's like
the Mariners are a mess as it is, but like they just put themselves in a deep hole.
So you that whole situation with the scandal, and then you have a cheating scandal in the same division. So
yeah. What's the Unhinged shop name? Unhinged Clothing .shop. You know, I'll just put in the YouTube chat for anybody who wants to head over to unhingedclothing.shop and purchase a t-shirt. Oh, let's see. All right, quality. Swainer says Anthony Cavino not on the Unhinged cast anymore. Anthony still is on the Unhinged cast. However, Anthony's like behind the scenes, like social media clip guy. I don't know if you guys follow us on Twitter or whatnot, but all of last season, like Anthony controlled the Twitter. So he's basically just going back to that role now that the off season's over and we don't have like trivia or anything. So yeah, if you guys want to interact with Anthony, just hit us up on Twitter. Let's see. Yankees are now 2.5 times better with having Hap on the team. With having Hap not on the team. That's fair. I mean, like just losing Hap makes the team better. Like it just says a lot.
I mean, we lost a lot of guys. We lost Tanaka.
But I think even though they lost guys, like they still like replaced them with improvements. Like we lost Ottavino, but we replaced him with Darren O'Day and Justin Wilson. We lost Tanaka, we replaced him with Tyone. We lost Hap, we replaced him with Kluber. So I feel like we lost guys, but we replaced them with improvements. So that's why I have no complaints. Let's see. Para, I got faith in Chapman. Chapman's son. Yeah, I don't. He gives up homers to Broso and leaves for milk. Yo, Futai just has no chill. Like, genuinely no chill. Penji says, I hope the Astros get booed every game. They will. Like, fans aren't going to forget about the whole
The
cheating thing.
Astros are going to get booed for eternity. As long as they're a baseball organization, they're going to be getting booed every year.
It's actually going to be interesting because, like, I feel like with, like, a limited amount of fans, the bashing of the Astros might be even worse because, like, now they're going to be able to hear everything.
The funniest thing is I was watching a Knicks game 2 nights ago, and they had like 300 people in the crowds, and when they were chanting, they were cursing, you could hear it loud and clear.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So I'm excited for it. What is the max number of fans we're going to have in the stadium? 2,000 to start off?
No, I think like 5,000. Because it's at 10% capacity. So I think Yankee Stadium holds like 55K. 10% of that. I'm no mathematician, but I think it's 5K.
I'm proud.
Jalen's in the chat. He says at the deadline, Devi Garcia, Andewhorn, Albert Abreu, and low-level prospect for Castillo could take more. I'd even add Schmidt. Devi, Andewhorn, Abreu, low-level prospect. That might get it done if his value goes down at the deadline. But based on like they were asking for Glaber, like I think they might have to give up more.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I feel like Kyle Hendricks would be the safer bet to make a trade with. Because Chicago's just unloading all their players.
Yeah. Let's see. Are you active on Instagram? If this is a question for like my personal Instagram at True Hennessy, yes. The Unhinged Media Instagram, like not necessarily. But we're gonna start posting on there more often once the season starts. Anthony does that too. He posts like the home run clips, game clips. So yeah, unhinged.media if you guys want to like keep up with our Instagram. Yeah. Twitter, we're much more active on. Unhinged New York on Twitter. Let's see. Aroldis Chapman sweats like no man I've ever seen sweat before. It's true. Like that man sweats bullets. Like you could put a bucket underneath him in during a game, and by the end of the game it'll be full. Probably like overflow.
He's like the only pitcher on the Yankees staff that wears a thermal every season. Like
do you think they make him wear it because of the tattoos?
No, I think he chooses it.
You think?
Yeah, he's like even with Cincinnati, I believe he was wearing a. Actually, no. Actually, it might be right. He loves the color white. Everything he owns is white.
That's not true.
Color. Everything he works.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like his thermal.
No. His thermal is always blue, navy blue.
I don't think he would be allowed to have a white one, just because like it's like manipulating with the ball or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, we're actually going to be facing Springer on opening day. Now, me and Jalen had this discussion. I think out of all the cheating Astros, George Springer is the one I dislike the least. Like, I think George Springer, like, just seems like a genuinely good guy.
I think he just went out and it's mostly Correa, Bregman, and Altuve. Those are the three key guys.
Yeah, I definitely have a hatred towards those three compared to Springer. Yeah, definitely not Springer. Let's see. Please answer this. If there was ever one player to ever carry the Yankees to a title, who would it be? If we're talking like currently on the team, I'd say Garrett Cole.
Yeah, I agree.
Or DJ LeMahieu. I could see DJ having like a crazy ass postseason and just like putting the team on his back. You know what I mean?
I agree. Everybody would say Judge, but he's not there yet.
No, but I think he has like the potential to carry the team to a World Series.
He
like
does
Judge can easily have a Stanton type postseason. Easily.
I pray for that. I just pray for them to be healthy, man. Because right now we already started off with one injury with Clark Schmidt. So
no, yeah. Lori says, "Did you design all these clothes, Pat?" Of course, of course. I design clothes. Like that's what I do. That's what
this man does it all. He hosts podcasts. He hosts Twitch streams. He designs clothes. He goes to school.
What don't I do? What don't I do? I'm running for president in 15 years, bro. Like, let's go. But yeah, no. To answer your question simply, yes, I did design all the clothes. Thank you very much. Sorry I'm late, but congrats on 1K. Yes, thank you, Two Planker. I think we hit 1K like it was the day of the Trey Ambergy interview. So that was when? That was Monday?
Was that
Sunday?
Saturday? Wasn't that Saturday?
Bro, this week went by really quick. Tomorrow's Friday.
It's honestly to the point where like, do we even know what day it is anymore?
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I just wanted to get warm outside. I mean, what was it, yesterday or the day before? It was like really nice out.
The last 2 days have been 50 degrees when I've been in the car.
Right?
So
Good
I
stuff.
like it. The snow melted, so it's good stuff.
Love to see it. There's still some snow outside my house, but like we're making progress on that big mound. Making a little bit of progress. Quality comment. Trade Stanton, Chapman, Volpe for Winker, Amir Garrett as a salary dump to make room for a shortstop next free agent. When you get a new shortstop, trade Voit and prospects to get a quality. Now, listen, CJ, this is just too complex for my brain to understand. But to answer it simply, Stanton and Chapman and Volpe for Winker and Amir Garrett would never happen. Like, I don't know why Cincinnati would ever take on all that money.
Not in a million. Dude, we're talking about Cincinnati right now.
Yeah.
What is your salary? $50 million? 60?
Probably. Yeah, that's just not happening. Let's see. Pat, who would you rather face in a playoff game, Hap or Price? I think I'm taking. Why not both? I think I'd rather face Hap, just because I feel like Price can have his moments where he just like locks it in. I feel like Hap just doesn't have that. Who are you taking?
I'm still going with Price. Because
you'd rather face Price than Hap?
The Yankees own Price. I mean, he had his one good game against the Yankees in the postseason, but other than that, the Yankees have dominated Price for the last 10 years.
Yeah. Let's see. The funny thing about all this is 24 teams passed on Mike Trout. That's very true. And if the Yankees didn't sign Mark Teixeira, it's very possible they could have been the ones to get Mike Trout. Just saying.
A lot of what ifs.
A lot of what ifs in baseball, and Mike Trout is one of those. They have to stop using Chapman for more than one inning in the playoffs. That's when he usually gives up the big home runs. I'd agree. FJ. I don't know how to pronounce it. But yeah, I mean, like I thought when Boone brought in Chapman for the 7th inning, like I knew the game was done there. Like there's just no reason you should be bringing in a Aroldis Chapman in the 7th inning. You just can't be doing it. And hopefully now that the bullpen's a little bit deeper, they won't be doing that in the playoffs this year. But it's like that was just such a mistake, especially knowing in the 8th inning there was 3 straight right-handed hitters coming up. You just can't do that. Come on, Boone, be better. Be better than that. And he did that. Now I'm pissed thinking about the ALDS. He did that 2 games in a row. Britton was cruising in the 7th. And then he wouldn't let him get the last out of the 7th. Like, why?
They do that a lot. That's the sad part.
There's
a lot of times a lot of these pitchers are cruising. They're like, okay, the management wants you to take it out.
Yeah, stupid, I tell you. Hypothetically, a Yankee hits a walk-off to win Game 7 of the World Series. Which current Yankee would you want to see to be the one hit it? Not a prediction of who would be most likely to do so. Who I would want to hit it would be Clint Frazier. I think that would just be such a Cinderella story. Or Aaron Judge.
Yeah, I would agree with those two.
Yeah.
Because honestly, imagine... Okay, I'll put it in this way. Judge is on the verge of getting an extension if he has monster years. He could be the next team captain, but imagine Judge just rounded the bases. Like, this is the moment he's been waiting for because he's been to the playoffs numerous times with the Yankees. This is his time.
Would he be rounding the bases, though? What if it was like a sac fly?
You have to kill my dream. You have to kill my dreams.
LA Yankee King, hot take or quality comment. By the end of the 2021 season, Gleyber Torres will be Yankees' best player. I think it could be a quality comment. Like, I don't think it's that far-fetched to say, like, Gleyber Torres has the potential to be the best player on the Yankees. Yeah. You know, like, it's not that far-fetched. But I wouldn't say, like, it's a hot take, but not the hottest of takes. Right?
A hot take would be having
Brett Gardner.
Brett Gardner winning MVP.
Yeah. Now that's the hottest of takes. Pat, Girardi or Boone? Boone. No, Girardi. No, I meant Girardi. Wow. I said Boone with my chest too. I was like, Boone. No, it's Girardi. How about you? Boone or Girardi?
Girardi with a heartbeat. I mean, I've always had my differences about Girardi, but Girardi had more heart and more passion and more grit as a coach than Boone would ever be. Boone's just the guy's best friend.
I agree. You know what else I agree with? I agree with Andrew Wallace. Smash that like button, guys. Smash it. I want you to take that like button. I want you to punch the screen. That's the only way you could like it. Okay. Actually, don't punch your screen because then you're going to break it and then somehow I'm going to be responsible. So don't do that. That was just a joke. But yeah, smash that like button. Hot take. I genuinely believe David Price is the most overrated player in baseball. It's not a hot take.
I mean, he was solid with his first couple of years as a pitcher with Tampa Bay, but he got
Well,
paid.
he was good when he went to Toronto.
I forgot.
Even in Detroit, he was decent.
I forgot he played for Toronto.
Yeah, he went from that was 2015. The tough 2015 Blue Jays when they traded for Tulo and Price like a week apart.
Wow.
Yeah. Good times. Good times. Good times. Good times. Let's see. Hot take, the Royals will be a wild card team. Derek, you're the man, bro. You're just the man. I could see it. I could see it.
Whit Merrifield?
Let's say, all right, Angels, Royals, wild card game. That would be a good time.
Wow. That is a quality game.
It's a quality matchup. But I'll give Trout this. He can stay healthy better than most stars. Hasn't Trout been injured the past 2 years, though?
He's been injured.
Trout wasn't hurt last year. He played 53 games. But like, here's a down year for Mike Trout, right? Because 2020, a lot of people consider a down year for Mike Trout. Meanwhile, he played 53 games, batted 281, 390 on base percentage, a 603 slugging, and hit 17 home runs with 46 RBIs. That's what we consider a down year for Mike Trout.
He even came out and said he had a down year after those stats.
Yeah. And it's like, it's crazy because like last full season, 2018, he played 140 games. He batted 312 with 460, a 628 on slugging. Imagine a 628 on base. A 1.088 OPS, and then hit 39 home runs with 79 RBIs. Like that's a very good season. He won MVP, right? No, he won MVP in 2019. He finished second in MVP that year. Who won MVP in 20? Oh, Betts. That's right. Yeah, Betts won MVP in 2018. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
And who didn't Jose Abreu win MVP last year?
Did he actually?
Yeah.
I think he did. Yeah. And then Ramirez finished second. Can you believe DJ only got one first place vote? Like, that's ridiculous.
Aaron Judge won MVP over Jose Altuve in 2017. But that's just
I don't know what you're talking about. Like, Judge won MVP in 2017. I don't know what you're talking about. Bro, you're not giving me credit. Never forget I was the one and only to mention how the Royals could be a potential wildcard team. And all of y'all were like, what? And then you looked into it, remember? CJ, you were the one to bring it up, but I took that ball and I ran with it. Just saying. That ball is now so far in the end zone. I'm all the way in Kansas City. Like, just call me Patrick Mahomes.
Don't forget the pine trees, bro.
The smelly pine trees. That's all I gotta say. Hot take. Unhinged will hit 2K subs before opening day. That's a hot take.
Let's go 2.5.
Tuna. All right. Para.
Hey, okay. You can't get mad at me for having belief in us.
No, I'm not. I feel like you're just. I like to. All right. Here's my philosophy in life. Set your bar very low, because then you never get disappointed. And like, obviously, like, you want to have like goals, right? But it's like, I have goals of grandeur, but it's like also in the back of my mind, like, I always just make sure, like, I reassure myself, like, there's no guarantee that these things are gonna happen, because like, I hate being disappointed, bro. Like, genuinely hate being disappointed. That's why when we set the goal for 1,000 by opening day and we hit it like 2 months early, I was like, oh hell yeah, it's like the best feeling ever. Quality comment: why are woodchucks called woodchucks? It's because they chuck wood. Simple as that. Why? How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck... Wait, woodchucks can't chuck wood. I don't think woodchucks chuck wood, because it's the saying, how much wood could a wood... All right, whatever. What is it about you and KC? To be honest, I just... They were my second team. I've never had a second team in baseball, but like, after examining the Royals roster, they look very fun. They're a fun team. Between the hitting and the pitching and decent bullpen, Wade Davis and Greg Holland back in the bullpen, big fan of it. Big fan of it. What? My brain is hurting from that woodchucking statement you just made. It wasn't that bad, chat. It genuinely was not that bad. Whatever. But that is gonna wrap things up for us tonight. Went a solid hour as usual. I am gonna be heading over to Twitch now. We're gonna hop on MLB The Show and do the Royals franchise. Have Tatis Jr. We have I think we have Luis Castillo too. I just put the link in the chat. Anybody wants to head over there, twitch.tv/Unhinged New York. I'll be live on there in about 5 minutes. But yeah, appreciate you all for stopping by. Tomorrow we have a recorded video coming out at 12 p.m. Eastern time, going live once again at 9 p.m. And we'll see you guys next time. Hope to see some of you on Twitch in about 5 minutes. Hope everyone has an awesome night. Peace.